Greetings from Southern Yankee Homestead. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Well, the weather is getting ready to rain again, and I'm kind of waiting for the ground to dry out a little before we start the shed project. Well, in the process, I went and did some pricing and found out how much lumber actually costs. And to do it the way I want to do it, it's going to be over $1,000. So that is motivation to go ahead and save where we can. So with that, as you've probably seen prior, we have a Harbor Freight sawmill. We haven't used it in quite a while because, well, it sucks. One of the biggest reasons it sucks is there's no way to properly level it. So even if you get the ground level and you put the base on it and put the frame on it, it's still not quite level. It's a little wonky, so I end up with really wavy boards and absolutely horrible lumber. So I want to try to fix that. To start, I got 10 carriage bolts and a pound of nuts and washers. What we're going to do is we're going to build a base, or we're going to build feet for the sawmill, which is obvious. You saw the title. So anyhow, what we're going to start with, we have my drill press here, and I got a hole saw, and down here we have, I think it's the transmission skid plate for Project Cheap Jeep. Well, Cheap Jeep is progressing. Parts are coming in for it. But we have parts we're not going to use. So let's go ahead and try to recycle this. I'm going to cut one and see if my theory will work. And then we will progress and see what more or how we can change it to work better. I don't even know if this hole saw is going to be able to cut this metal. It should, in theory, be something better than mild carbon steel. If it's abrasive resistant, I may not be able to cut it with a hole saw. That might be too thick, but we'll see. Thick or not, that worked well. All right. Don't worry, we're not done yet. Now then, I have no idea if this is going to work or if it's even plausible. So what I did was I got into my ball joint press and picked out this piece here. And I have one bolt I picked up that's shorter than the rest. This is what we want to use. This is what I'm going to try to do this with. The idea I have all right, stand out of the way and see what happens. Let's center it on the arbor and then see what happens. smoother than I thought it would. Alright, that actually worked better than I thought it would. Because now we got a square hole, so we can take this and she's going to sit flat. So to keep it in there, we're going to go simple with it. We're just going to take a nut and thread it on there. 1 foot. Yeah, I do need to clean it up a little, but proof of concept. Now I'm going to go through and cut 9 more of those. Now then, this is the point of the video where I say, learn from my mistakes. When this mill was purchased, used, I got it for about $1,000 2 years ago, and I haven't used it very much because the quality of the lumber was crap. I think there's a couple reasons. The first being my base. When I originally built this, I used these recovered beams to support it, and I made a frame for the frame. The downside to that is I have almost zero adjustability. In order to adjust the frame, I have to jack the whole thing up and shim it. On top of that, the frame itself I don't believe is square. And on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, the frame is all welded. The prior owner basically removed all the hardware and welded it together. So I don't think everything is quite square. So we're going to see if we can fix some of that with this so that we can get a little bit better quality lumber. But the first thing I need to do, pull the saw head off and disassemble the entire thing. So what I was saying just before the battery so rudely died on me, off camera I took our feet and drilled a hole in them, and you'll see why when we get to the final mounting. But for now, you need to go ahead and get these feet under here. Switch over to time lapse for that. So I worked until it was almost time for chores and then packed up. Then yesterday it rained heavily, so I didn't do much. Today I went through and finished leveling it, so it looks pretty level. I'm right on the bubble. I think there's still a couple things that I could improve on, but that'll have to wait for a later episode. For now, I'm gonna see if I can actually cut anything with it and how straight and true it is. I'm hoping this will be better than it was, because trust me, before it wasn't that good. This is a poplar log, or a tulip tree, yellow poplar, whatever you want to call it. It's several years old. I don't know if the wood's any good, but we're going to find out. And we're going to try to take probably 1/2-inch slabs off it. I am going to take a minute and see if I can get some of the bark off though. Then we get to see if I can actually fire up the mill. It's been a couple years. Alright, so this isn't the best log. The bottom foot and the top foot are about and rotted out, but there is some good wood in the middle. I'm using an old blade. This blade's been on here and I haven't even I forgot to loosen the tension last time, so this blade is not the best of quality, but then again, neither is this lumber. But I went ahead and did a cut, and well, still level. There is a little bit of variation here, and as you slide it down, there's a variation here. So there is still some waviness in the board, but it's not like before. I had to get a level out to see how flat it actually was. Before, you could actually physically see the waves in it. So obviously my mill was a little unlevel. But I think the feet made a heck of a difference. Next step, well, there's a lot of work that needs to go on the head unit. That's going to have to wait until, well, 3, 4, maybe 5 projects down the road before I get to that. But what I'm doing right now is cutting siding. I think the video is complete, but it hasn't been put out yet by the time I'm filming this. I'm cutting board and batten siding. So with that, I'm just going to cut siding. Nothing too complicated about it. I'm going to do them 3/4 of an inch thick, or as close as I can get to 3/4 of an inch thick, and 8 inches wide. hopefully there's enough good wood in here to allow me to do what I want to do. Don't know, we'll see. Anyhow, I am going to go ahead and cut this up, do some more work on it, and, well, stop rambling. So putting feet on the sawmill made a heck of a difference. Again, not perfect, don't expect it to be. It's a $1,000 machine, used and abused. So this was a needed upgrade, just to make it partially usable. There will be more coming down the horn on this one, actually probably pretty soon. But for now, hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.